So I did a thing. A moo moo thing. Welcome back, everyone, to another round of Minecraft modded. Today, we're not looking at any mods. Today, we're going to check out my new cow farm. Because I want to get away from that little cow pen I had over there. So, the cow farm is built next to the chicken farm. It didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to cosmetically, but hey, I've got a nice little storage area. I'm put some, like, you know, hay bales, stuff like that in there. But I already know people are going to ask, how's it built? So before we jump inside, let's head over to creative mode and I'll give you the full rundown. So this is basically the design. For starters, I made some certain choices that are different from other designs similar to this. There's basically a main mechanic a lot of people use, which is cooking, and that basically kills the cows by cooking them with like a lava blade, and you end up with cooked steak as one of the rewards. I need leather and raw beef. Very simple. Raw beef because I've got it as a trade item with some traders in my nearby village. So cooked steak is actually unnecessary for me. It is much more beneficial to have the raw beef. So instead of a cooking mechanism, I went with a crushing mechanism using a sticky piston and a block. But the same idea applies here. You have some seed cows that are used to keep the population restarted every time that you kill the lower cows, so you never run out of cows and have to go track some more down. So to start, you're going to need, of course, some storage medium, so a chest, a single chest, whatever you want, and at least one hopper. The hopper is where the lower cows are going to stand. You can do it a little differently. What I did in mine is I actually ended up having it face forward into the chest on this same level so that I could shorten this a little bit in height, but the same idea is applied. You just need them to stand on the hopper so that they collect and feed down into the storage chest, whichever way you want to do it. If you want to do multiple hoppers leading into a whole system of chests, you can do that. It's your call on that. If you want to do a sorting mechanism for separating out the meat and the leather, you can. That's your choice. For the crushing mechanism, you're going to need a sticky piston, so the block will retract, and simply a lever. On top of that, you're going to need at least some kind of trapdoor. It doesn't matter which. I'm using this one because it's nice and visible there. And then you will need a button, as well as a dispenser with a bucket of water inside. And the mechanism, if you're not familiar, is it will pour out the water from the bucket, and then when you hit the button again, it will collect the water in the bucket. So you have a way to dispense and retract water. And that's really it. Beyond that, the glass is just so I can show you everything. Use whatever material you want, and you don't have to use a half slab, really, if you don't want to really see them or interact with them. So the core idea is you can stand here and feed the cows this way, but to make it easier, to make sure that they are more accessible, you can sit here and feed them like this and have, you know, just whatever number you want. As long as you have at least 2 in there, you're fine. And then when you hit the button, it takes out the water, which causes the babies to fall down past the trap door. When you do this, you have the water go there, it makes the cows bounce, and then you do that to retract the water. Now, for the killing mechanism, since we have a nice bundle of cows here, we simply hit that. It's not affecting any of the babies, so the babies will still be alive in there. Of course, my mod causes me to collect it, but basically, if you didn't have the little mod I have going to automatically pick up with the magnetic, it would just drop into the hopper. Hopper goes into here, and you have a nice number of cows. So for mine, I went with just the birch planks, like the chicken coop. I did do a stone brick half slab there, so I can interact with them a little bit here. So like that, you know, I can do feed to the cows there, and of course, as you feed, you're going to get experience points. So I didn't need this to be an experience farm. Otherwise, if I wanted experience, I would have built it with a similar 3x3 area like the chicken coop that was down in the ground where they couldn't escape. Use the seed cows to drop them down, the babies, and then at that point you could produce a lot more, but you'd be stuck killing them with some other mechanism like potions so you can get experience points. Then on this side, I decided to use a set of ladders, and instead of standing above, I actually will stand right here, and there we go. Go feed the cows, hit the button, they drop down. I'm getting a few points of experience, and yeah, cows have dropped in. If you need steak, then use something not flammable for one, and instead of the sticky piston here and the block in front of it, the block would just be replaced with a dispenser for a lava bucket, and the same premise would apply. You would hit a button here, it would send a trigger, making the dispenser pour basically the lava out of the bucket, and it hits them. Then you click it again to make it pop back the lava in there, and they basically are on fire and burn to death, which at the same time cooks the beef. Time to make some more cows, since I did just kill a bunch of them. So yeah, there we go. We drop them in, and because of this level, it's harder for me to see the babies. You see, I did see a baby there, but it's a little bit harder to see him. So I decided, just for a cosmetic look, I would add a few cows outside. I had originally planned to have this whole area like fenced in, free roaming cows and pigs and such. And then I got to building things. I was like, I don't want to have to worry about all the mountain ridge up there and them wandering around. So I added this so they can get around, but they can't get up onto the roof, which means they can't get out. So we got a few cows there, nice little cosmetic. I might put some pigs in there later or do something similar, but for now, that's just going to give me some visual. Plus, I can always use it for a few extra cows here and there. Again, main thing here is this one, and we've got quite a few, plus a few babies, looks like still. Let's see what we get this time. And you know what? Let me run away. And all right, I didn't get any of the drops this time. Oh, and then that happens. Okay, so it's paying for itself pretty well so far. I mean, a good bit of raw beef, which again is a trade good for me with one of my traders. Actually, 3 of my traders, I think, have it. So it's a very good trade option for me to get some emeralds. And since I'm doing so much work on the village, I really want to focus on stuff that applies towards that. I could use it for cooking the beef and making cooked steak, but I don't really need it. So, of course, there's no fully automatic cow farm out there because there's no automatic reproduction mechanism. You still have to feed them. So all the farms you find are going to be semi-automatic, and it depends on what you need. If you need a lot of experience points, then build something where you kill the cows using, a method like a, potion of harming or something like that, as opposed to using a crusher, using a lava blade. If you don't need the raw steak, don't use a lava blade. If you need the cooked steak, use a lava blade. But there's different variations for different needs. My needs are just that I don't need cooked steak, so I didn't go with cooked steak. And I went with instead the raw beef, and there we go. That's 3 stacks, not from the new farm. That's stuff that's been slowly building up over time. But yeah, a lot of emeralds from that. All right, so that's gonna be it for this episode of Minecraft Modded. Just something a little different. Show you what I built instead of trying to go through multiple little stages of the build and showing different points. Just show the finished build and then show the breakdown of how the build works. And if you enjoyed that approach, if you like this style of episode more, hit that like button and leave me a comment below. Let me know that. If you want to see more of just the normal gameplay, more of the exploring, leave it in a comment below and let me know that. And I'll certainly try to, do more of that stuff. But again, that's it for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Spicy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to keep it spicy this week, and I'll see you in the next video.